Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Projects of the third package of the Khmer Port awarded, including construction of passengers and air cargo buildings and air traffic control tower. Workers at Lulu Company end their strike in all centres after reaching an agreement to fulfill and study their demands. And Ministry of Health confirms that seasonal flu vaccine is available and denies of recording any cases of coronavirus in the Sultanate. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Joseph Kabila of Congo on the country's independence anniversary. Projects of the third package of the Khmer Port top projects awarded by Tender Committee of Special Economic Zone at Dukum included construction of passengers building, air traffic control tower, air cargo and fire extinguishing building and airport service equipment and maintenance building, in addition to construction of 2 secondary electricity generating stations. The Tender Committee also awarded a number of development projects topped by a tender of detailed study to develop design works for northern side of the industrial area and a project of implementing water network of Dukum Port. The Ministry of Health confirmed the seasonal flu vaccine is available for the current season with the start of the blessed month of Ramadan and nearing of Hajj pilgrimage season. It stressed the importance of commitment to health requirements and conditions for those who desire to perform Umrah and pilgrimage this year and the necessity to take the decided immunization which will be available in all health centers of the Ministry. The Ministry denied of recording any new cases of coronavirus which is causing Middle East respiratory syndrome in the Sultanate since December of last year, according to statistics of follow-up and monitor for such cases. However, the Ministry announced that registering of 44 cases of H1N1 flu during the second half of June in the latest statistic recorded by the Ministry. The decision of the Public Authority for Consumer Protection, which related to prohibit, sell, market, exhibit and distribute used tyres, had become into force 60 days after specified grace period, which was organised by the decision as a period for businessmen to get rid of the used tyres. The decision came to organise the selling of new tyres and to prohibit selling of tyres that 24 months elapsed from the date of their manufacture with regard to light vehicles tyres and 30 months for heavy trucks. The decision applies to give the consumer a warranty document of no less than 1 year from the date of purchase. The authority has seized 3 violators since the last of applying the decision. The procedures were taken towards them and were referred to public prosecution. Workers at Lulu Company have ended their work strike in all centres after reaching an agreement to fulfill and study their demands by the company during a dialogue session held today at the Directorate General of Labour Welfare with representatives from the Ministry of Manpower, Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Federation of Oman Trade Union and representatives from company's management and head of Lulu Labour Association. The agreement stated to grant the workers health insurance as from the start of labour contract, and the company confirmed its abidance to study wages table taking seniority into consideration. Result of the study will be announced at the second half of the upcoming August, and to perform an internal committee from company's management and association concerned to put up training plan for manpower in line with the company's requirements. The agreement also included to approve sick leaves issued by government health institutions and private health institutions approved by the company as an indicator not to affect the attendance discipline. The rest of the demands mentioned in the strike notice it had been agreed to form a committee to study them, comprising the Ministry of Manpower, Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Federation of Oman Trade Union, Companies Management and Workers Association, whose work shall start at the second half of August and to submit a report to the specialist at the ministry in no later than the first half of next September. The company had agreed to consider the days of strike as paid days. Stay tuned because still to come in our news bulletin. A 29-year-old whose legs are paralyzed took the official kickoff at the World Cup in Brazil using an exoskeleton controlled by his brain waves. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Moscow Securities Market General Index today added 12.67 points, comprising a rise of 0.18% to close at 6955 points with a trading value of 5.91 million Omani riyals. The report issued by Moscow Security Market pointed out that the market value rose by 0.11% to reach about 4.86 billion Omani riyals. The value of shares brought by non-Omani investors reached more than 1.1 million Omani riyals. The value of shares sold by non-Omani investors reached 970000 riyals. Spiritual atmospheres and traditions which reflect solidarity among the society individuals prevail in the Omani community during the holy month of Ramadan in all governorates of the Sultanate. Walking is one of the most important activities practiced in Ramadan, and some people prefer to play other sports such as football and volleyball after Al-Tarawih prayer. Ramadan is a great opportunity to purify the soul, get close to Allah and communicate with the relatives. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in public remarks to his cabinet that over the weekend the Israeli Defense Forces attacked multiple targets in response to firing at Israel from the Gaza Strip, and they are ready to expand the operation. Israeli and Palestinian officials said that Israeli aircraft attacked at least 6 targets in the Gaza Strip today, hours after rockets fired from the Palestinian territory set a factory in Israel on fire. Palestinian medics mentioned that 2 people were wounded in airstrikes on 8 sites. Police said 3 people were injured in the attack on the Israeli factory, a paint manufacturing plant in the southern town of Sidorot, that caught fire. North Korea fired 2 ran ballistic missiles into seas east of its coast today. South Korea's military said, defying a UN ban on the country testing such weapons. North Korea is to hold talks with Japan this week to work out the details of Pyongyang's plan to reinvestigate the fate of Japanese citizens kidnapped decades ago. A North Korean foreign ministry official was quoted as saying by Japanese media North Korea said the launch was part of its routine military exercise and that there should be no effect on planned governmental talks between North Korea and Japan next Tuesday. Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida told reporters Japan wanted to raise the issue during the talks, adding that they must make a firm demand toward North Korea that they follow the UN Security Council resolution and other agreements. 2 buildings have collapsed in the different parts of India, killing a total of at least 11 people and leaving dozens trapped. In the capital, Delhi, a 4-story building came down yesterday, killing 10 people, including 5 children. Just hours later, a 12-story building under construction toppled in Chennai in heavy rain, leaving 6 people dead. Rescue teams with cutters and shovels are continuing to search for survivors in the rubble in Chennai in the southern Tamil Nadu state. A police investigation has also been launched. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, UNAMA, has expressed deep concern about the rising number of civilian deaths and injuries in ongoing military operations in the southern Afghan province of Helmand. Armed clashes between the Taliban and Afghanistan National Security Forces have been taking place since 21st of June in the province Sangin, Musakala, Nowzat and Kajaki districts, with the majority of fighting concentrated in Sangin. UNAMA, following a statement, said the deaths of at least 30 civilians and injuries to another 35 have been documented in Sangin since 21st June. It has also documented some civilian casualties in other districts of Helmand province. The opening kick of the World Cup marked not only the start of the tournament but also a massive scientific breakthrough. Details in the following report.
At this 3D printing lab at Colorado State University, scientists are designing a state-of-the-art helmet, part of a suit that allows paralyzed people to walk again. It took nearly 60 hours to print the customized liner for the helmet that holds electrodes in place. Those sensors detect brain waves, which command the exoskeleton to move.
We printed in 4 sections and then tested various gluing methods and then sectioning to put it together. This is the actual first prototype.
It's a painstaking process, spearheaded by an international research group called the Walk Again Project.
Some of the things we needed were components that needed to be very quickly prototyped and made, and 3D printing was a great opportunity to do that. The Walk Again project is a chapter in an evolution of technology called brain-machine interfaces.
The Colorado-made helmet was taken to Brazil in time for the World Cup kickoff, where it was attached to the exoskeleton body made in France. It took 125 people across 6 countries 2 years to create the bodysuit, which could offer new hope to large numbers of paralyzed patients.
For the first time in their lives, since they've been disabled, they've been able to stand up, walk, and kick a ball and experience walking for the first time.
A handful of companies are already selling exoskeletons to neurorehabilitation hospitals. Experts say that as the technology advances, the devices could become widely used within the next decade.
Here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers will be at 3:56 a.m. and Maghrib prayers will be at 7:03 p.m. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and nearby mountains with chances of intermittent drizzle. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear to partly cloudy skies with chances of rainfall over the parts of the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be southwesterly moderate to active along the coasts of Arabian Sea, while it will be southeasterly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. Scenes along the coastal areas of Arabian Sea will be rough with a maximum wave height of 3.5 meters, and along the rest of the Sultanate coast it will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Projects of the third package of Duqm Airport awarded include construction of passengers and air cargo buildings and air traffic control tower. Workers at Lulu Company and their strike in all centres after reaching an agreement to fulfil and study their demands. And Ministry of Health confirms that seasonal flu vaccine is available and denies of recording any cases of coronavirus in the Sultanate. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studio, thank you for joining and good night.